S.Y.D, Share Your Dreams is where I interview business owners and investors who are living in their dreams, doing what they love to do day in and day out. Please join me to get an insight on their passion. Stay tuned. Good morning, Mia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for coming down.
No, thank you so much.
And joining me today on another episode of Share Your Dreams. It's an episode where I interview business owners and investors. So with yourself, you do have your own company business, TMG.
Yeah,
that marketing girl.
That's me.
Yeah. So I've been following.
Girl.
Yeah, I've been following you online. You know, on social
Yeah.
media, your
Yeah.
Instagram, and
Yeah.
you know, I love your content.
Thank you.
Your free tips and advice to other business owners out there.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off. Can you give
Absolutely.
us a bit of a background on yourself and,
Yeah.
and how your business started?
Yeah. So how the business started, it sounds so cliche and I guess very millennial-esque, but it started off as a side hustle.
Yeah.
I'd been to uni, done the whole uni thing, studied, got a job in marketing while I was at uni, and then I was really fortunate when I left to be offered a full-time position there.
Yes.
And it was great. I learnt so much on the job. I worked with really great people. But I guess it kind of just hit a point where creatively I was a bit capped, and I knew there was more opportunities for me out there, but it was an inner conflict. Do I continue building up a bit of a side hustle? Because I had been for quite some time helping family, friends on their socials, or my next opportunity is, do I commit to building someone else's business and working within an agency model? But I had to go with my heart, and it was just start the business, bite the bullet, now's the best time to do it. Worst thing that happens, you can get a casual part-time job, build it up, but that fortunately never had to happen. It just exploded, and then
That's great.
just kind of happened overnight.
Now I'm the same as well. Like when I started my business, it was like a side hustle for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to start somewhere.
That's it.
You know, you just don't want to, jump off the cliff.
It's
straight
daunting,
away.
and when you've got responsibilities too, like fortunately I'm not in a position where I've got kids, a big family, a mortgage, so it was like, if I don't do it now, am I going to look back and regret doing it?
Yeah.
But I think kind of starting as a side hustle builds up your confidence and gives you the know-how and builds up your belief further that, hey, I can actually do this and I can make it a more full-time role. So I completely relate on that level, 100%,
No, excellent. Now, when you started, did you have like certain roadblocks, and if you did, how did you overcome it in the early stages?
Did I have roadblocks? I was a startup, basically completely doing it on my own, bootstrapping it, winging it. I saved up a lot of money, saved up a nest egg to kind of reinvest into building my business. I think the biggest roadblock for me was managing demand so quickly and learning how to implement my own processes that worked for me and worked for my clients as well. And you learn a lot through trial and error, what works with clients, what doesn't. That was probably my biggest roadblock, is dealing with growth so quickly, because you hear stories of people that have grown so quickly, so rapidly, and it just plummeted back down in front of their face. And issues of belief too. Like, I knew I was good at what I could do. I knew I could physically and mentally do it, but there's still that self-limiting belief of, do I deserve this? Like, am I doing the right thing? Like imposter syndrome, people are gonna catch out I'm a fake, but I'm like, no, I've proven my worth. I've done the study, I've done the work. There's a demand out there. I just need to cut over that self-limiting and imposing belief. And I think mindset is something I still struggle with, but I think everyone in business at some point feels like it's too much. Perhaps their mindset's not gearing them towards success, and just finding strategies to really overcome that and
that's it.
build up self-belief.
Like people do, they do surprise themselves when they realize, oh, I can actually do this, or I'm
That's
killing
it.
it. You know,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
the aim is, just dream big and
Exactly, and
reach
put
for
it
the
into
sky.
action. And just grind it out, work hard.
Excellent. Now with your business, in the beginning, did you have fears on starting it? And with now, like, do you still have fears?
Well, for me it was a risk. I was someone who thrived off like comfort and control, having a predictable income, knowing I was hitting a certain income bracket, and my biggest fear was, what if I'm a failure? What if it flops? What if I've wasted all this money? What if I've wasted all this time? What if I should have just gotten a job and given up on the dream? And the biggest fear for me was failure and dealing with that. And I didn't want to not that I had skeptics, but I didn't want people to think, oh yeah, she had no chance anyway, of course it was going to fail. And that was for me, biggest fear in starting out was failure. I don't know if that's something you can relate to as well.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, same with me. Like when I first started, you know, obviously you have responsibilities as you get older. You know, you got to pay bills, you got to pay rent or mortgage.
Yeah.
So you think, you know, if you don't reach a certain point, you'll be stuck financially. And then you'll think, oh, people will see you as a failure. Then you quit your business and then you go back to a 9-to-5 job, or you go back there.
Internal conflict. Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, you put in the hard yards, and you follow your dreams, and I guess you get rewarded for.
Yeah, and that's where mindset is the biggest factor to success, and overcoming those roadblocks early on is having a good mindset. You know, changing your thought of thinking and the process around that. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, with your experience and knowing what you know now, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, I would say to my younger self, believe in yourself. You know what you're doing. Other people are validating what you're doing too. So it's not just you. Other people know you can do it as well. Still get in there, still get the work experience, get the practical hands-on experience, but don't feel like you are locked into something for the rest of your life. Don't think that working for someone else is all that it is, because it's not. You can take the step and bite the bullet and actually do it. So that's what I would go back and tell myself, like, wake up to yourself, you're going to be fine. Cut those bad thoughts.
Everything's going to be okay.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing I would go back and tell myself.
Get rid of all the negative thoughts. Just have that positive mindset.
That's it. Because like when you're working for yourself, no one else is going to pat your shoulder. Like a client will be grateful and stuff like that, but you've got to support yourself. You've got to be your own backbone. And if I had that earlier on, I think I would have started doing what I do now earlier on. But everything happens, when it's meant to happen. Can't force it.
Excellent. Now, where do you see yourself and your business TMG in the next 5 years?
Good question. So I am, like I mentioned earlier, very driven off knowing futures, knowing plans, knowing this, knowing that. But there is still, I guess, an element of I will take things as they come. But within the next 5 years, ideally, I think I'd like to move into more of an agency model and really bring that towards Southwest Sydney area. Because one thing that I've noticed within the market, considering what I do, social media marketing, it's non-existent in the area. And so many of the people I've worked with in the past, businesses I've worked with in the past, had no, obviously they had potentially resources to do it in-house, but then it's, you know, the crisis of, do I hire someone full-time and pay them a wage? Do we then work with an agency in the city, but the cost is so high, there's not always a guarantee on return. So within the next 5 years, I'd like to bring that kind of agency level work into Southwest Sydney and become an industry leader, not just within Southwest Sydney, but more so spread throughout New South Wales as well. But I never want to lose the integrity and touch where it's not me anymore. Not to sound controlling or possessive of my brand, but I never want to just delegate it or outsource it to someone who doesn't care. I want to be 100% hands down involved in what I do, like I am now.
That's it, because your business is your baby. You want to.
That's it.
You want to be part of it.
And I guess that's part of the growing and evolving, is learning how to manage a team and building a strong team. But that's something that would definitely be happening within the next 5 years, sooner or later. Who knows? Take it as it comes. But definitely building a strong brand name throughout the region and turning to the go-to marketing girl. So
No, excellent. No, I'm the same as well. Like with my business, I want to be that main contact, you know, for my clients.
Absolutely.
You know, so they can reach me anytime. And
that's it.
You know, you're just managing your team and having the right structure in place.
That's it.
So
structure.
You're always involved, and you know you put your effort and thought into everything.
That's it, and that's like, I think the biggest indicator of success that I look for in the next 5 years is, it doesn't really come down to financial reward. It's more so knowing that I've built a legacy and a structure and a team of people that are just as passionate as I am and will put in just as much hard work as I would. So no, I can completely relate on that path.
No, awesome. Okay, now because I'm with you, that marketing girl, for the people out there who's got a business and they want to get into social media marketing, what advice do you have for them?
So I understand that it feels overwhelming, daunting, you don't have the time, you don't have the resources, you don't have the know-how. The best thing that you can do when you are wanting to take your social media marketing seriously there's two things I would suggest as like an entry level is speak to someone in the industry, not to plug myself, but speak to someone who works directly in the niche of social media marketing. Maybe perhaps like lock in a consultation time, put together a strategy. That way you're starting your foundations off strong. You're not just posting for the sake of posting. You've got a strategy there, you've got objectives, you've got outcomes that you want to achieve. So being strategic with your approach is like hands down the number one thing that I can put out there. Or start investing in online courses, perhaps if that's out of your budget. Invest in online training, online courses. Follow people in the industry who are always giving out free advice, value, tips, education. Go to seminars, book in for different training online, just so you're entering with an actual understanding of how social media works and how to be strategic about it, and save yourself the wasted time of just trying over and over again to build an audience and it's not working. Hands down, the best thing you can do is go with a strategy.
That's an excellent tip, because obviously, you know, it's always changing. It's always changing and evolving. So it's always good to go out there and you know, to learn. And you know, always keep learning.
And like learning. A lot of people, I guess, not that they don't see the value in it, but it's not as much as a priority for them as it would be having an appointment with an accountant or with a business advisor. But the thing is, often with social media, it's like the first touch point that a client is going to make with your brand whatsoever. Like, I'm a sucker for it. I will search up a business on social media beforehand and instantly cast a judgment on them. It comes down to like, their branding, the type of content they're putting out there. And for me, if it's a little bit lackluster, it's, I'm on to the next page having a look. So working with a strategist who can give you that first best impression and then obviously deliver results in turn through content. Excellent tips there. Thank you. That's just a handful. Don't get me started.
Now with social media at the moment, what's the current trend at the moment?
So the biggest, I guess this trend is probably here to stay, is, and we hear it all the time, authenticity and keeping it real. Social media is social. It's not like a business brochure, it's not a pamphlet, it's not a big, I don't know, formal document. It's a place to be social and connect with your audience. So obviously still maintaining a level of professionalism, but showing a bit of character, showing some charisma, and that's where authenticity comes in, you know. Open up about the struggles of, obviously this will depend brand to brand, business to business, but show a little bit more behind the scenes of how you operate your business, behind the scenes, even milestones within your business. This is more service-based, not product-based, but opening up to your followers, being authentic with them. And the best way that I am connecting with my followers and I'm seeing success with other businesses is face-to-face stories. So it's practically like talking to your client face-to-face. You can build that communication, and it comes back to basic marketing principles, like really building that know, like, and trust. And I completely understand it's overwhelming to like turn the camera around, start talking to it. But you do build that communication with your followers. So long as the content you're putting out is geared towards them. But authenticity is a trend, and it's here to stay. Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely look into stories on Instagram and Facebook as well.
So you can connect you can link the two platforms together. So everything that you publish on Instagram will automatically publish to Facebook. And then just being clever with the strategies of you using the stories to keeping people engaged for as long as possible, using all the little features like the polls, the sliders, ask questions, leave gifts, start conversations. It's the most amazing tool to do it, and it's you know,
it's just
right
engaging
in your
with your potential clients out there.
That's it. Absolutely.
Your following.
Definitely.
Excellent. Now, in regards to social media marketing, like with your experience, what are some of the do's and don'ts that you can share with us in regards to?
I guess it just depends where you are at with your social media marketing efforts for business, whether you are starting out, you've got no idea, maybe you've got someone in-house, maybe you're outsourcing to an agency. But my number one do is, depending on the platform, also something like Instagram, it's very visual based. Obviously you give value, you generate different types of content, but getting a strong brand style guide together so everything looks cohesive. So when you do make that first impression, you're likely to stay on and keep having a look. If you're a service-based business, even product, get great professional brand photos done. That's content that you can reuse and recycle as well. Another do is go in with a plan, go in with intent, go in with a strategy. That way you're not posting for the sake of posting. You've got a system there to measure your results. You know what type of content you're putting out. You've got goals, you've got objectives. You know your target client, so you're every piece of content is geared towards them.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh God. I don't even know where to get started. It's subjective, and I don't want to offend anyone with what they're doing. But I would say I don't. I can't even. I don't want to have to put anyone and feel like I'm putting down their efforts down. But stop just posting for the sake of posting. Don't feel obligated like you have to post something. Don't make it feel rushed. Don't make it feel forced.
And I think people can tell.
Yeah,
tell that too.
you
like
can.
You can tell that it's forced. It's not.
It's just being posted for the sake of posting, and I believe if there's no means of someone to connect with the content, there's no means of putting it up there. You're just wasting your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say a big don't is just posting for the sake of posting, because people can see through it. It's not scroll stopping content. You just keep flicking through. Another big don't is stock photography. I would say try avoid that where you can, because it's not your own imagery. First of all, you're telling the brand story of someone else. That's another big one too. And when it comes to your caption copywriting as well, don't just chunk up big slabs of text. Break it up so it's more digestible. Use lots of white space. Use lots of emojis. Make it really creative and captivating and entertaining. And another don't as well, again, it depends on your business, what type of company or organisation you run. Obviously, it'll vary from corporates to someone who's running their own business from home, maybe a local business, is don't copy and paste content that sounds, or not copy and paste, but don't write content straight from your professional marketing collateral. Translate that. You can still keep the professional tone, but make it conversational, make it chatty, give people a reason to connect to it. So that's another big, I guess, don't is you don't need to keep it formal, keep it social, like make it entertaining and engaging. So I mean, I could go on and on, but I don't want to.
No, it's so good. These are excellent tips. I'm definitely going to keep rewinding this video and get all the pointers
Screen
out
record,
there.
take notes.
What's a common thing that holds people back from being successful on social media?
That's right. So those are the factors, is getting their foundations right. That's if you haven't got your foundations there. Being consistent, realizing results don't happen overnight. It's going to take a couple months organically to get results. Staying consistent with it. You have to be consistent. You have to show up. You have to put your face out there. People want to connect with the people behind the business, not just the business.
No, that's excellent tip. Okay, now stepping aside from the business, can we get to know a bit more about Mia? What are your hobbies, interests, and one of my other favourite questions is, what's your favourite song at the moment?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. See, it's changing all the time. So when I'm not on social media, I like to look away from all screens where possible, because at the end of the day, I'm like, get the phone out of my face. But I'm a sucker for like reality TV, like trashy TV, because I think for me, it's like just a step out of reality. Break from the craziness going around. But I do love spending time with my friends and family. That's, if I have free time, it's with them. That's that's what I enjoy doing most, is just being around them. And favourite song, that is such a hard one. Can I just look at Spotify?
What's on high rotation?
I don't know. I can have a quick look. It's always changing.
Is there a certain genre you're into, or like you listen to all types?
Oh, see, I've become more recently, since running a business, a podcast kind of gal. Music's like second best, but I'd probably say something like, there's a big mix there. I'm loving Foles at the moment. They just released a new album. I can't pick a favourite song. I might just leave it at that, because I'll go on and on and on. No,
that's okay. No, that's all good. Excellent. And to wrap it up, can you share with us like a free tip or advice to our audience out there in regards to social media?
So I've got a handful of tips, but probably my best one is, and it's going to take a lot of work, is put together a strategy. So you're posting content with intent. You've set boundaries around how you're going to measure results, because there's no point doing it if you can't measure the results of it. Get together your brand content photography and get comfortable with being in front of a camera. And I do know that it's all good and well to say it. It's easier said than done. But putting together an outline of content, so knowing what you're going to post for the month ahead. And I have put together, for everyone who watches today, a free 30-day content calendar. So it's got, thank me later. So it's got 30 days worth of content prompts. So rather than you sitting there pulling your hair out, you've got a rotation of different prompters that you can use. Obviously plug and play, see if it adapts to your business or not. I've got examples in there too of how you can phrase the content, photos that you can take for it as well. So yeah, big tip is just make the most of free resources that are out there and just get confident and consistent and it'll become like muscle memory before you know it. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that.
No, thank you so much.
There you go, guys. If you'd like to know about Mia or her business, TMG, that marketing girl, please reach out to her on her Instagram page, Facebook. And I'll definitely add that link in regards to the free content for you to download. Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
Thanks everyone.